Funny Games is one of those movies, or I should say they are one of those movies, or two of those movies. They're basically the same movie, but one's remade shot for shot. That is designed to piss you off. Michael Haneke is definitely one of those directors that loves to push the limits. It's not even intended as a horror film. It's supposed to be a message about violence in the media by making it, well, incredibly violent, and it's also completely pointless. It plays on humanity's apparent obsession with pointless violence, death, and destruction, something that we read in the news every day, but as soon as it's in a film, it's suddenly just really shocking. Whereas when you watch the news of these horrible things happening, most of the time, you don't really have much of a reaction. You're just kind of like, oh, this person did this again, or this person killed their mother or their roommate. But as soon as it's made for entertainment, then we start to question it. And this film really blurs the line between fiction and reality. Paul is always breaking the fourth wall, addressing the camera, winking, smirking, and even Peter makes references to the formulaic suspense rules of traditional cinema throughout the film. They even literally disappear in the third act just so they can give the main characters one more chance to escape after murdering their fucking child by accident, because without that last chance escape, there wouldn't be any tension. This is how you do meta humor perfectly. And when you combine it with these very dark and disturbing themes in this pointless, cruel world where just disturbing things happen. Even when Paul asks the audience to bet, of course he wants us to bet that the family is going to win, because that's what he expects us to do. And the rewind scene is genuinely brilliant. It just has such a dark, twisted sense of humor, and even though it is a little bit frustrating, you have to remember why the movie exists. And it constantly reminds you, yeah, it's not real, we're just doing this to shock, entertain, and piss you off. And it works. There's even a setup for a character to maybe use a knife to escape, and when she tries to use it, she just gets fucking killed. It's honestly brilliant. We do get the chance at a heroic escape, but Paul just completely fucks it up. And the ending is just disturbing. Suitably disturbing, but disturbing nonetheless. And the relationship between Peter and Paul is just hilarious. They kind of remind me of the Charles Dickens character Uriah Heep with their false sincerity and genuine psychopathic, sociopathic nature, later revealed as the story goes on. It's genuinely great stuff, and the performances definitely help. Again, more so in the American version, but they're still okay in the original Austrian version. And I'm gonna say it, I prefer the American version. I do want to emphasize, I did watch the American version first, and because they're pretty much the same movie, you could say that's the reason, and I probably would have enjoyed the original Austrian version twice as much if I saw it first. But there are some things about the American version I just think are better. I also find it kind of funny that one of the characters in this movie is played by the woman that plays Fred's mum in the Fred movies. Again, it's just something that only appeals to me, but it was hilarious.
Why didn't you tell me? Because, Freddie, I didn't know you'd be so upset. I wrote the address. Mom, she's my girlfriend!
I think the acting's better, I think it's shot better, I think the sense of humor is a lot more twisted and kind of fucked up. Even though they're the same jokes, it's all about the delivery and the execution of them that makes them, well, like I said, better. And Haneke even admitted that the American version gave him the chance to make it the way he originally wanted to make it, as more of a commentary on the American depiction of violence. It also helps that he hired a better cinematographer for the second movie. I'm honestly just waiting for the day they do another remake, which is a commentary on the needless remakes of horror movies in Hollywood. It would not surprise me at all. And even though it's not supposed to be a horror film, there's genuine sense of tension in this movie, particularly building up to the two mischievous little psychopaths committing the violent atrocities that they do. It's genuinely nerve-wracking stuff, and even though you know it's coming, it never fails to freak you out. Also, a really funny detail about the second movie, which I thought was just amazing. They didn't do it on purpose, but I thought it was good. One of them looks like a weird mix between Brad Pitt, Macaulay Culkin, and Dane DeHaan. The other one looks like YouTube sex offender Austin Jones. It's honestly perfect casting for a couple of needless psychopaths. So if you're ready to be pissed off and simultaneously entertained, then just give these films a watch. They're not for everybody. Like I said, they can be very frustrating, intentionally so, but still frustrating. But if you've got a stomach for that kind of stuff, then go for it. I am a sick son of a bitch, so I love this stuff.